Let's go to Brianna in Columbus. What's up, Brianna?
Hello.
How we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
We are just figuring it out every day, right? So what's up?
Absolutely. Okay, so my question is, how much should you talk to your spouse about work?
Oh, never.
How much should you share?
Nothing. Never. Are you crazy? What? So what's the? Tell me some more about what you're asking.
Okay, so about 3 years ago, we moved 12 hours away from everything we knew for his job.
Okay, can we stop right here? You're gonna have to let that resentment go. I don't know what comes after this, but you'll have no peace in your home or in your marriage, and if you've got kids, in your parenting, unless you let that piece go, or y'all move back. Is that cool?
Absolutely. You're definitely right about that. We are moving back in a few months, and that's really why I'm calling.
You are moving back. All right, so we're moving back. Wait, can I ask you, why are you moving back?
It was only supposed to be a temporary thing. They opened a new location. We needed someone who knew the company to come and manage it for a little bit till they kind of got up and going.
Okay, and it turned into a couple of years?
Yeah, it was originally going to be 2 to 3 years, so we're out a little longer than 3 years.
Okay. Have you hated it the whole time?
80% of the time.
Why did you hate it?
I have a very close family.
Okay.
And I really struggled figuring out how to make connection with other people that I didn't already know at least a little bit,
okay, or
that didn't know me.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was definitely a struggle for a long time. And I went to work at the same place that he worked because I needed a job and didn't know where to get a job at. And we live on the property.
Oh, geez.
So most of my life is revolved around one thing, and that is with the place that he works now. I don't work there at the moment. I work somewhere else and have been able to find friends there and connection there. But sometimes it feels like my entire life is consumed by the place that he works.
Why is it consumed?
I worked there for a long time. Mm-hmm. I started my day there. I ended my day there. And even though, we come home and it's not, we're not clocked in, I'm not at work, I struggle a lot to turn that off in my mind. And I still have a hard time with that, even though I don't work there anymore. Like, I have a saying when I get off of work that I have to tell myself so that my brain will transition and I can just go home and be who I am there. And I'm not, clocked in anymore. I'm not working. I'm not thinking about the things that happened.
What's it, the things that you're plugged into? Is it the gossip and who someone slept with Dan again? I mean, is it that, or are you dialed into the business function and how we're making money? What are you missing?
For him, or for the place where he works, I think that it's more so that I just want to make sure that everything's still okay and
why?
No one thinks he's horrible.
Why? That seems like an incredible burden to carry, especially when you can do nothing about it.
I would agree with that.
Let me back out a little bit, because I think this is all connected. So follow me on a train of thought here, okay?
Absolutely.
So you left.
Yes.
Your close-knit family, and there was an awkward period where you weren't there anymore, and you weren't in the know, and you weren't in the figuring it all out, right?
Yeah.
And you found yourself on an island somewhere 12 hours away. Or as you say it, 12 hours away, right? So really far away. Or half of a day away. It's only a day. Annie, no, I won't do that. That was 24 hours. That's not 12. So you find yourself 12 hours away, and then there's this decision point. There's this moment. I don't know anybody here, and I'm completely disconnected here. I have one of two choices. I can just go be weird, and I can go be awkward, and I can go find people and try to be awkward with them and be like, hey, I'm new to town, and this is weird, and y'all want to go get, sandwiches, or do y'all want to go get coffee, or I'm having a barbecue, y'all are coming to my house, and you bring the weird desserts, because this is what y'all do 12 hours away from everything I know. And in that process, you don't know the skills, you don't know any of the lingo, you don't know the culture, but you're figuring it out along the way. And the key is you're stumbling and tripping and falling forward with other people. The other decision is I'm just going to sit here and watch Netflix and be pissed off for 3 years. And I'm going to get a job and get really embedded into my little world. And if I pull that same thread over here, you went to work with your husband in the same exact place, which, hey, it put food on the table and gave you something to do. Probably wasn't the best thing globally, but it is what it is. It happened. And then you left for whatever reason, probably best for your marriage and all things. But instead of now making a new place, you put an anchor into that place. And you're trying to control things that backwards again. And instead of living in the place that you are, you're trying to control places that you've been. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so my challenge to you is so to answer your question, how do you stop? Then you just stop. I know it sounds so ridiculous. Here's what it looks like in real life, in real life. I'm just going to give you a personal example because I did this yesterday. There's I work with university officials behind closed doors and kind of we talk and help each other through problems and things and challenges. One, I gave a clear, do not do this thing. And that person went and did that thing. And I'm beginning to hear about it across the country. And I was with a group of people yesterday, and I was like, I'm telling you, I said, don't do this thing. And then while I'm saying this out loud, number one, I'm gossiping about somebody, which is completely stupid. That's just to lift me up, which is so lame. And B, I stopped myself. It's like, why do you care? You don't go to that school. Your kids don't go to that school. You have no vested interest. Like, what are you doing? And I literally stopped mid-sentence and just trailed off the conversation in an awkward way. And luckily, I'm so awkward most of the time, nobody thought twice about it. Here's what it looks like in real time for you. The moment you're like, well, hey, nope, not going to do that. And saying to yourself, I literally don't care. And I want you to practice that. And then, more importantly, I want you to practice having something else to talk about, something else of interest to you, something else that you're working on or pretending to get involved in or practice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me if that's hard. I know it is, and I know I'm making it sound so easy, but tell me, because it is super hard, but it's also really simple.
Yeah. I don't know that I know the answer to that question. Besides that, I feel like that I was drowning in an ocean and this little bitty tiny boat came and grabbed me. And now this boat's sinking, but because it saved my life the first time, I'm still holding on to it instead of getting on a different boat.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yes. Unpack drowning for me. What does that actually mean? Was it that you were lost at sea because you left everything you knew and came to a new city in a new state in a new part of the country?
You always say you go with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is true for me. When we moved here, I had to face the things that I needed to take care of and that I needed to do differently. And that has been a long, scary process for me that I have never seen modeled for me.
Awesome. Did you do it?
So I did. I'm still doing it, and I'm never going to stop doing it. It's been incredible. So a lot of the time, it felt like I was just going to go all the way under, and I was never going to climb back out.
Yeah. But you did.
Yeah, but I did.
Did you do it with other people?
Yes.
And those times you thought you were going under, you realized that other people were holding you up, which is why I'm always so adamant about people getting with other people. You just described in very clear terms bravery. That's courage.
Sorry.
I'm really, really proud of you.
Thank you.
Understand this. So you go with you. That's like a little saying I throw around all the time. I'm going to try to make a saying out of what I'm about to say here. I'm not going to try to make, I was trying to make a cool little saying that I could put on the internet, but I don't know. I'm not good at that. What's the right way to say this? Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's wrong. And my guess is you're going to look back on these 3 years where you had to figure out who you were and what you were made of and the skills you were missing. You've known it for a long time, but you got to stay in a regular rhythm and routine. And when you're with family a lot, they keep you in your place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My sister's 4 years older than me and my brother's 5 years younger than me. And we all get together and we go right back to being older sister, middle kid, younger brother, right?
Yep.
And when you untether all that, 12 hours away, right? And you do that, then suddenly you've known for a long time, and here you are dealing with it. And here's the thing: when you go home, people aren't going to recognize you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be real easy to go back to old Brianna.
Yeah, and that's a fear I've been working through.
Yeah. So let me tell you something. And one of the things I think that the modern mental health community, of which I'm a part of, I'm at fault here too. We haven't done a good job of, let me say this. We have communicated to people that mental health and wellness is just getting the right thoughts in the right order. And if you can just think the right things in the right order, everything is quote unquote going to be okay. And so there is an important part to think about this coming as you're heading home and the work you've done and the new skills you've picked up and the Brianna that now stands 6 inches taller than the one who went 12 hours away, right? But I want to add something to it that the modern mental health community has left out, is you're going to have to do different things. You're going to have to hang out with different people and maybe even live in a different part of the town. And you're going to have to say no to things. And you're not just going to go right back to the same Thursday night dinners at Ma's house or whatever, because that's the night that you and your husband have, bow, chicka, wah, wah, right? Whatever y'all are going to do. But you're going to have to create a new world and live into it. And that's going to be really insulting to the people who expect you to come back and be the Brianna that they have created in their own mind.
Yeah.
Right?
I absolutely agree with that.
Does your husband, is he in support of you?
1,000,000 times over.
Does he love Brianna 2.0?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is he scared about you going back to being you when you get home?
I would think that would be a little bit of a fear for him.
Have you asked him?
I don't think I've asked him that way.
Ask him that way.
Okay.
Because my guess is it's just a little fear. I bet it's a big one. And it would be really fun exercise for y'all to create a world, to like engineer a new environment moving forward and say, here's the magic question. Who are we going to be the day we land back at home? Who are we going to be? And when we say who we're going to be fun. We're going to be spontaneous. We're going to be laughing. We're going to keep our weekly movie nights. We're going to keep our random Thanksgiving full of misfits. We're going to keep these parts of ourselves, and that's going to inform the things that you're not going to do. The phone is still getting put away at 8 o'clock at night, so I'm not responding to every family member emergency text because they're not all emergencies, and I don't want to. Right, I'm going to begin to create this world, and then I'm going to live into it, and that's going to be fantastic. So hear me say, I'm so proud of you. Recreate this world together that you're going home to. To answer your original question about how much should we talk about work, every couple's different. I've learned that the less, the better. And in my house, we set some pretty strong boundaries. And so I will say things like, can I talk about a thing that happened at work today? And my wife will say, do you want a solution or you want me just to listen? And I will say, I just need you to listen. And she'll say, great, go for it. By setting up the conversation, it keeps her from just becoming my trash bin and me coming home and just dumping crap on her all day long, every day. So I structure the conversations like, I want to tell you something about work. Normally, I say, I'm struggling with feeling like I'm not doing anything worth a crap, or I'm struggling with a hard conversation I have to have at work. That's less about work and that's about me, and she wants to hear about that. She does not want to hear about the gossip, and I don't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to hear about, ooh, what's the profit report. She don't want to hear about that. She wants to know if her paycheck's going to change, right? But I think going home and using work as a living soap opera to prop up two people having a conversation with one another is a terrible, terrible way to live. Create your own life with your own joys and your own hard stuff and talk about those things. And if you leave a job, leave it all the way. Leave it all the way. Thank you so much for your bravery, Brianna. I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you. I can't wait to see what happens next.